Hi there, this is NekitaNet and welcome to this episode of Office Hours. And it's getting late in the day. We've been to another secondhand shop. Yes, I know that's a recurring theme because I quite frankly like, puttering around, looking at old stuff and seeing if I fancy something. But this is a warning video. Always test a secondhand monitor before paying cash or credit or whatever, because this one looks nice. And even when I first checked the audio levels of this nice little episode, which is good, but when we turn it on, it seems okay, it seems nice, it functions properly, but when you hook it up to a computer, which I did via a very nice HDMI to DVI-D cable, and look closely at the monitor, you see it's burned in, which means that there are streaks running across this, in this instance horizontally over the screen, which means that it has run quite a number of hours, which means it will go back to that secondhand shop who gave me a 72-hour warranty, right? If it isn't good, you can return it in within 72 hours. But that's a hassle. So my personal advice to you is always fully check a secondhand monitor before buying it. Now, if you can't get anything else but a slightly unusable or slightly damaged screen, for a couple of euros, that's okay, I guess. Personally, being well known with secondhand shops in this area, I don't have to go that far to another secondhand shop to buy another monitor. But I wanted something very specific, a secondhand monitor in this format. So that's a 1024 by 768 pixels, 4:3 format, to replace that screen over there. And it had to have a DVI input. So this was the only one available to me at the moment, at least. So I'll have to wait, but I bought it because I need a screen for that PC over there. Yet it isn't good enough to work with. That's the reality. These screens do have a little bit of wear and tear if they're older, and this is an older monitor. And with the burned in lines, the streaks, you'll strain your eyes needlessly. So I'm going to return it. But before even testing a monitor out in a secondhand shop, do the smell test. And I'm not joking. This monitor on the back has these nice little vents, and if it has run many hours, you can either smell electronics when you do the sniff test. And I should have done this because this monitor was housed, its previous owner was a smoker, so it was housed with a smoker, and I should have smelled that before buying it. It was a little bit musty in that secondhand shop, so I might have missed it. But if there are capacitors in those, electrolytic capacitors, and they've leaked, that's also a very distinct smell. Burned components are distinct smells, and these things, although they are energy efficient, in many regards, even the older ones, because they do have some norms they conform to, but they do get a little bit hot with the electronics, so you can smell abuse and long-term use. I should have done that, I didn't. But even with this normal self-test, plugging it in, letting it do its thing without plugging it into a computer, it seems nice, it seems fine, but once you plug it into a computer, it's quite readily visible that this screen is done for. So always test your monitor, your secondhand monitor, to be, before buying it, just to be sure that you don't run into this issue. And now I have to go back to another city. It's close by, but still, you know, it's a hassle. And it was 12 €50. So do I really want to go back for that money? Well, no, but it's the principle, you know, it's the principle. You don't sell broken stuff to other people, even in a secondhand shop. And if your checking department, your quality assurance department, they have those in secondhand shops that test this stuff, because they don't want returns as much as I don't want to return an item. But if their quality assurance is not up to snuff, you know, not plugging it in, testing the screen for dead pixels, for scratches, and this screen also has 2 deep scratches that you can't polish out, you know, clean out, because it's not dirt, it's a real scratch. I wouldn't have minded that for that amount of money if the screen was in all other regards perfect. It isn't. It's an eye strain, so it will go back. But I did get a number of cables, and there's another one over there that was most likely rather new, and that's a HDMI to DVI-D cable. I've got a dual link, as it's stated here, dual link DVI-D to DVI-D cable, and a single link which looks completely new, a DVI-D to DVI-D cable for, well, €2 a pop. Also got a small keyboard. We'll test that out before, you know, using it. So it wasn't a complete waste, because I ran out of these cables quite a while back. So it is what it is. Smell, do the sniffy test even before plugging it in. If it smells bad, don't buy it. If it smells like a smoker, you know, these people that smoke sit very long times behind the computer, so it most likely has a higher proportion that is defective or bad. And then hook it up, do the self-test. If you see something wrong, reject it, and if you can, and I insist you should, plug it into your computer and test it out completely for dead pixels, for scratches, deep scratches. And there's one there, and there's something here. You can't see it on the screen, but even if I were to plug in a computer, right, and then test for burn-in, which basically means that a computer has run standard applications for a protracted time, and well, which means that those pixels were stuck on specific colors for a long time, which means it burns in, quote unquote. It's an old thing that used to happen to CRTs very much, and well, it is what it is. So we've got a couple of minutes before I'm ending the live stream, and I'm seeing somebody making a comment in the live chat, so welcome. Very quickly, your videos help me a lot. I like your review of the Noctua PWM fan splitters a lot. You help me to understand how PWM works without making it boring. Good. Glad it helped. Just installed a new build. I will use from now on an ROG motherboard, and then an i7 7700K with 32 gigabits of Vengeance GBR DDR4 and a Strix 1080 Ti 11 gigs. Now you've got a very nice machine there, and going by that motherboard, you didn't buy into the hype of the, well, I'm not sure if those are compatible, but the X299, those have power delivery issues, so the chokes aren't up to snuff. They can run very, very hot, but it seems very nice. Now, I'm going to end the broadcast, because this was basically just a quick little video that shouldn't run too long, about testing your monitor. Sniffy test, sniff test, you know, the heat outlets, check the self-test feature, and also number 3, you know, like that. Number 3, do a proper test to hook it up to a computer, just to make sure that you don't have dead pixels, you don't have deep scratches, color differentiations. That's also possible because some people poke their screens profusely and that damages them as well. And also burn-in. 4 things, right? Okay. So, thanks for watching. This is NekitaNet saying, I hope you like this video. Like or dislike this episode of Office Hours. And, well, thanks for watching. Oh yes, subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe, click the bell and tick the box so you get all updates for this channel. Now let me switch over to the end scene because I'm smelling dinner and I'm hungry. So, bye-bye.